Ghetto.
Hi everybody, welcome to this week's Ghetto vlog. Postman's bin. Okay, so before we get into what the postman has bought me, I just want to take this time to give a massive shout out to James. If you haven't seen already, I did a video game room tour over at James's house, and yeah, James was a fantastic host, great guy, and too generous. He's one of them people that are just too generous for our own good. Had it been up to James, I would have left his house with a carrier bag full of stuff. As you've seen as well, I did leave him with my Kratos on the throne and the Ryu. He's already found a great home for them. You'll be seeing the pictures on screen now. So his room's already evolved since the midweek game room tour. But he did insist that I left this house with this. I think he's already got it digitally. He assured me he was never going to play it. So yeah, I accepted this one, and I'm delighted that he gifted me this. And that is the Capcom Fighting Collection. This is one I've been actively pursuing. I said on the video when I was looking at his Switch shelf that, yeah, this is a great one to own because this never got a UK release to my knowledge. Not physically. As you can see, this has got the ESRB rating on it. Now, I never collect NTSC for anything other than Switch. I don't know why. I guess I break my own rules with Switch. I don't really care for some reason. I think because it's cross-platform, because you can't really tell. There's no like obvious differences in the games, and there are so many that just didn't get the release over here that they did in America. The only sort of rule I do have is that I don't like Japanese writing on the spine. I like to be able to see what they all say. And yeah, with this being American, obviously it is written in English. So yeah, could not be happier to finally own this, especially with the second iteration of this, the Capcom vs Marvel Fighting Collection, which is coming very, very soon. But this one in particular was released in 2022, and I think it was released in conjunction with the celebration of Street Fighter's 35th anniversary. And it's the arcade versions of 10 Capcom fighters released between 1994 and 2003. It's got all 5 Darkstalkers games. It's also got Cyberbots, Full Metal Madness, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Gem Fighter Mini Mix, Hyper Street Fighter 2, and the one which I'm most excited about, Red Earth. Red Earth's a game which, whenever I see it, like graphically, it always like pulls me in. I always think, wow, that looks great. You know, like the characters, like a huge lion that you can see front and center on the game art box. Yeah, the game box art, should I say. It always sort of makes me think I want to play that game. And now I have the ability to do so. So yeah, once again, massive shout out to James. If you haven't checked out his fantastic collection, there'll be a link in the description below to go and check out his game room tour. But yeah, I had a great time. And not only that, we went on a crazy game hunt that escalated very quickly. I got some fantastic pickups, and that will be on Wednesday's video, so don't miss that. But getting to the matter at hand, the postman has been, like I say, so let's open the first of what he's bought me. Aha! Yes, this is something I'm very happy to see. And that is a kind of sealed copy. Sealed enough for me, it's got a slight tear in the front. And that is PlayStation 4 Hits UFC 3. This is the 2018 release of the MMA fighting franchise, and I've said many times before, I was a huge UFC fan at one point. Sort of Chuck Liddell, Shogun Rua, early John Jones, Anderson Silva. That kind of era was really my era. That's when I really sort of like first got into UFC. It felt a lot different back then. It felt real sort of raw and dangerous, if you like. It was almost shocking to watch it, and it really pulled me in. And I went through a phase of like binging the back catalogue. I would go through all the old UFC events that I'd missed out on. I used to buy all the DVDs from CEX. I used to go upstairs to CEX and search for all the old UFC events. I'd go home, watch them all avidly, and even sort of like got me into going to a Muay Thai class and all sorts. Yeah, I was really like big on the UFC. As time's gone on, I don't know if it's because it's on so late at night, or as the sport evolves and it gets more, shall we say, cultured, things kind of feel a bit watered down. It doesn't feel like it used to, right? When it was Joe Rogan and what was his name, Goldie on commentary, and they used to have that different entrance music. The theme music to UFC used to be unreal, man. But yeah, things evolve, things change. I just don't have that same passion for it anymore. I tend to like just watch highlights these days. Yeah, I'll sort of main events, I'll catch the highlights in the morning. I'm not staying up till 3-4 in the morning. But yeah, UFC 3. My sort of UFC gaming experience was more on the 360, that kind of era. I enjoyed the first few. I think like a lot of games, they kind of got a bit too in-depth. There was a lot of ground game. And whilst that's a big part of MMA, and I respect the jiu-jitsu, it's not necessarily where I find fun in playing a game. So yeah, it's one of the things that kind of fell off. But in terms of having this is a very rare one for the PlayStation Hit set. This was one that never got a UK release. This is a German copy, as you can see by the age thing on there. And I've got to give a massive shout out to Console over on the Discord that hooked me up with this. So yeah, can't thank you enough. And that leaves me now with just 2 left to complete the Hit set. So yeah, we should have that full set done very soon, and the sea of red behind me is looking beautiful. So yeah, once again, shout out to Console, and that's probably the rarest of the last few that I needed for the set. So awesome delivery. And okay, next up, this again has come from the Ghetto Gang Discord. This has come from Joe, Super Smash Gaming YT. She's a legend, man. Joe does a lot of buying and a lot of selling, and she always sells at great prices. So yeah, I'm glad I snatched this one up. There is a note. Hey Callum, happy to help add another game into your amazing collection. Enjoy, my friend Joe, Super Smash Gaming YT. So shout out to Joe. I can't remember how much I paid for this, but it was less, considerably less than what CEX want for it. I think this is £45 currently at CEX. It's become quite a pricey, somewhat uncommon game on the Xbox 360, and just one that I've been wanting to play for quite a long time now. Just intrigued by it, right? And that is Fist of the North Star, Ken's Rage. And look at that box art. Absolutely love that. So this version is the 2010 Omega Force developed 3D beat 'em up. Now, I didn't actually know, but this is a spin-off from the Dynasty Warriors series based on the manga franchise. Plays very similar to Warriors games, which is something I've become very accustomed to because I've been recently trying to play through Warriors of Troy. Really enjoying it. I've really enjoyed that gameplay arc. So hopefully this is something that I can sort of like go into as my next Warriors game. Once I finish Troy, we'll get into what's happening with Troy in a moment. But yeah, once again, I just want to give a massive shout out to Joe. Like I say, it's become quite a difficult one to get hold of. £45 at CEX. Fist of the North Star Ken's Rage 2 is even more difficult to get hold of. That's £65 at CEX, and there's no copies of that one currently in stock. So if you see that, grab it. But yeah, for me, in terms of just wanting to play the game and see what it's all about, yeah, absolutely great addition to the 360 collection, which I did say a couple of weeks ago I wasn't adding to, so that went well. Right, so that's everything that the postman has bought me. But I've got this sitting here, my white Xbox 360. What a beautiful looking console, right? Now the reason that's sitting here is, sadly, it's done what Xbox 360s do. It's started failing on me. So it's just come at the worst possible time. I was really enjoying playing through Warriors of Troy, loving that game. I was going to finish it, I was locked in, and it just kept turning off. The screen kept going blank. Every now and again I'd get like a red center light, not the red ring of death, but there's some issue with this, so I'm sending this over to Ghetto Gang Tech Extraordinaire Nicky. Nicky's gonna fix this for me. Not only is he gonna fix it, we're actually gonna make some modifications to it. So Nicky's gonna help me get this modded, because I'm gonna pick up a second one of these. I want 2 white Xbox 360 consoles. One to go in the Kallax unit, but also I want one to go into the kiosk behind me. Reason being is, having a kiosk is a very clunky piece of kit. Every time you want to change the disc, it's an absolute nightmare, taking the whole thing apart, taking that plastic dome off it to get a new game put in. And what I want is just one that I can get modded, get all the games that I want. A lot of the Japanese shooters and things like that that came out on the 360 that I'm never going to buy. So yeah, that's the plan. So this is getting sent off to Nicky tomorrow, and hopefully next time you see this, it's going to be working perfectly and have a plethora of fantastic games which will be perfect to play on my kiosk. So yeah, that's why that's there. But as a result of me not being able to play Warriors of Troy, I've started something new. Let's take a look. Okay, so the PS5 controller is charging, and that is because of this game. Now, this is a game I've been thinking about replaying for the longest time. Days Gone. I love this game. In recent weeks, I've heard so many people talking about this, both on the Discord. Shout out to Champion 2D Rob. He was talking about this on a recent pickups video, and it's genuinely one of the best Sony exclusives of this generation. And that's high praise, because there was a lot of great exclusives in that generation. So many people sort of like ignored this game, or it got a bad rep. I think when it first came out, it was probably a bit glitchy, and yeah, it sort of seemed to get bad reviews, which seemed to hamper its reputation, but I don't know, because I came to this game late. It was fully patched, and it's not a perfect game in terms of like frame rate and all that kind of stuff. There is the odd glitch, but I don't care about things like that. I just care about having a solid experience, and this is fantastic. I put it on the other day just to sort of like get accustomed to it, because I'm going to be trying this in New Game Plus, having already completed it. And the second I started it up and started my bike engine and started going down this sort of dirt track of this post-apocalyptic world, I just had the biggest smile on my face. And it's very rare I revisit a game. The highest compliment I can pay this is that I'm revisiting it. But for me, I don't really just replay games to play them. I like the achievement. So I think what we're going to do is go for the platinum. This will be my second ever platinum, should I be able to do it. But what I think is important to do is take a look at the trophies. Let me just turn the light off. See what's achievable and what's not. Now, you don't have to worry about any of these. These are like the additional content that came out after. In terms of getting the platinum, we just need to concentrate on Days Gone itself. So without trying, I'm at 65%. That was from my first playthrough. I think that's what's going to be so beneficial about me having already played through this game. From what I remember, the leveling up system isn't fast. So I think there's quite a lot of things that I didn't, I probably only maxed out halfway. So I think the beauty of playing New Game Plus is that I'm already halfway there. So hopefully by playing through the game again, I should kind of naturally get towards that filling, different upgrades, which will obviously lead to achievements, which will lead to the Platinum Trophy. So, as we can see, we've got 4.3% of players that have ever played the game have platinumed it, but which ones do we still need? So this is important to figure out how attainable it's going to be. So Ambush Camp Hunter, Infestation Exterminator, Marauder Camp Hunter, and World's End, I believe, are just additional quests. So aside from the main story of the game, these are just additional things. Like, for example, you have to go around. Infestation Exterminator is a case of getting rid of all the zombie infestations, I assume, throughout the whole game. And so on and so forth. So that's the case with those four. So if anything, it's nice because they're storylines that I never progressed with. So it's going to be nice to do something new. I don't know what else is still left. Accumulate 10 minutes of drifting. That should be easy enough to do. 100 stealth kills. That should be easy enough to do. Once you kind of know and you get it into your mind what you need to be doing, you can sort of make it happen, right? So we need to remember about that. What else have we got? Kill an enemy with every type of crossbow bolt. Okay, again, that's something I'll get on. Use nitro and drift at the same time on your bike in at least 5 seconds. That is a platinum trophy I should be able to get almost instantaneously. Where else? Unlock over 75% of collectibles. Right, so you can see. Normally, if you finish the game, you would probably unlock more than 75% of the collectibles. But as you can see, with only 7% of players that have actually earned it, it's quite a slow upgrade system, this game. It does drip feed you upgrades, which I liked about it. Which, again, gives me that impetus to start with New Game Plus. It's not the sort of game where you're going to go into it really OP and just be like, oh, this is no fun. Because, yeah, this sort of says it all, I think. So I'm glad that was there to be able to highlight that. What else have we got? Best friends for life, gain all the allied trust status with 3 different encampments. Again, that's just doing all the sort of like little medial jobs for each of the encampments, which will give you all of the trust level, which you want to do anyway, because when you get different trust levels at the encampments, that gives you more unlockables. So that's something really which should just take care of itself as you're going for the other trophies. And is there any more? Unlock 45 skills. Yep, that shouldn't be a problem. These are the sort of things that might be a little bit harder. Knock down 12 anarchist cairns. I'm not going to lie, I don't even know what an anarchist cairn is right now. And that's it. So for me, it seems very achievable. I don't just want to get the platinum. I do want to play through the game again. So I do want to finish the story. So yeah, that's where we're at. Let's get into it, shall we? Got myself a fresh cup of Yorkshire, some Galaxy, a fully charged controller. Let's go. Ghetto gang colours for the bike, of course. And guys, you should all know the drill by now. It's been a few weeks. If you want to see gameplay of this, stick around for the post-credits at the end of the vlog. And yeah, we'll get into this game in a bit more detail. Okay, so I managed to earn 2 trophies tonight. I earned maximum trust with 3 different encampments. That just kind of happened by playing through the game. And then this one, you have to do 10 minutes of drifting. I just found a little open space, did donuts whilst I was watching Slimehouse TV's latest drop, so that was an easy trophy. I sat there watching Slimehouse whilst, just holding the finger down on the button. But we've got a big problem, and I've got to stop playing. Okay, so I don't know how well you could hear it on that clip, but there's something in this wall. Hopefully like a mouse, not a rat or something else. And I'm hoping it's just one, not a nest, not a family. So, a couple of nights ago I heard something. I didn't think nothing of it. This is a single skin build. It's got really like high-end insulation and everything, but you get the odd little noise, you hear the odd thing. The neighbour's gate is like attached to that wall. You just hear things, you don't think nothing of it. But the later at night I found myself in here, the last couple of nights, the more noises I've heard, and now it's obvious. There's something scuttling along the inside of this wall. And it's frustrating to say the least. It feels like I'm being violated, man. Like, it's right here. This is where I sit to play Days Gone or whatever I'm playing. And it's right here. I think it's stuck in this wall. So that's the end of the room. And somewhere roughly here, if I can remember rightly, from when we built it, there's like a supporting wall. So there's like an extra piece where it's double skimmed. And that's then got the plasterboard on it. So it wouldn't be able to get past that. Because it just sounds like whatever it is going like that. And it's like right in my ear roll. You might not be able to hear it much from that video clip, but trust me guys, it's like in my ear. Like I can't enjoy being in here. All I can hear is this little flipping annoying thing doing God knows what. It could be eating my wires, my insulation. I need to get it sorted ASAP. It just feels like there's an uninvited guest in my place, right? And it's genuinely stressing me out. Like I can't stand it. I can hear it all the time. I can hear the odd thing now. It's late, it's dark outside, there's no point in me going out there now. But in the morning we're going to go out, see what we can find, see if there's any sort of like entry points I can see as to how this thing would have got in. I'm going to go to the shop, get a mouse trap, ask the neighbour. I know the neighbour said to me before, like he's had a few mice and stuff. I've never had them, even though I live so close to a field. I've been really fortunate because we've got a fence. So we not only have we got like the real, like the hedge, the farmer's hedge, we've also got like a proper fence with a concrete base, so there's no real way for them to get through, whereas the neighbour's just got the hedge and then it goes into his garden. So I think they get just, they go straight under into his property, where we've never had an issue. In, I don't know how long we've lived in now, 3 years more. I've never seen a mouse, never seen a rat, nothing. But yeah, like I say, it's stressing me out. It needs sorting ASAP. So yeah, much to my shame, I did that. Can you see that? I got so annoyed that I was putting my ear to the thing, listening for it, and I tried to drill it. I just didn't care. Like, I just had enough. I mean, I have enough common sense to know that it was never going to work. But I think I was just so blinded by anger and annoyance that this thing was here violating me, that I just wanted, I don't know, I just felt like I had to try and do something. I felt like I was powerless. Like, what can I do? I don't want to start cutting holes in the wall. That's the other thing. If I get an exterminator, are they going to cut a hole in the wall? I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go, but we'll start trying to tackle it in the morning. Retro Ghetto. The only thing I can find is this, the perimeter of the area. This had this in it, but it was loose and there was like a crack, and it's the only thing I can see where anything could be getting in. My neighbour lent me this, which has like pellets inside it, but the pellets only kill it once it's eaten it, like it'll kill it later on, and I don't want it to go inside and die in my wall. So I managed to grab one of these from my local hardware shop. So we've got peanut butter, a bit of cheese. Hopefully that'll be enough to tempt him out, get him out of my wall. Fingers crossed. As you can see, I've set it up with the Ring doorbell. So if anything does come in or out of that hole, or once it hits that mouse trap, I'll be able to capture it on camera.
Good morning. I am in the city of Derby. I had to get away from that gnawing in my walls. It's genuinely driving me crazy. Anyway, I've got a couple of things that I need to pick up. Probably should make a start on doing a little bit of Christmas shopping. I'm normally a last minute guy, but yeah, my life's so hectic. I might as well get ahead while I can. But obviously, you know what that means. There's 3 shops we always hit up when we come to Derby. Mobile Game Exchange, Retro World, and of course, arguably the worst CEX in the country, Derby CEX. So yeah, man, let's go. Let's see what we can find.
I mean, if you're going to reprint a cover, at least reprint the right cover. Anyway. Imagine paying £35 for a game and this turns up. Jesus Christ. I mean, only in Derby CEX. Wow. Oh, what are you, sir? Just filming. Look at that. What timing? Can't go anywhere in Derby, can you?
Without seeing the ginger.
Can't go any. Is it one of the things where I can make a wish, or is that something else?
You have to rub something.
Yeah.
I can't say on family
I
channel
best turn
what it
this
is.
off. How long have you been studying now?
4 years. I didn't have a beard.
Years. I was here a year before he came. Honestly, there's no one here either. There's no queue. I mean, at this point, it's laughable, isn't it?
Well, it's either that or you cry.
I'm going to be that long, I might have a beard.
Yeah, like this.
It's another lifetime away, I think. Wow. Well, Derby CEX, gonna Derby CEX. They never do anything to enhance their reputation, do they? That was painful. Besides seeing Liam, shout out to Retro Ram. I'll put a link in the description to his channel. Go and check him out. Shocking. I'll be able to check the time of the 2 videos I took from when I was in there in the queue to when I've left now. And I'll put on screen now exactly how long it took. Now, bearing in mind, there was no queue. There was nobody in there. There was one person at the till. They got served quickly. I was next in line. That's how long it took me to get my game and get out of CEX. By the time I left, there was like a 10 deep queue. It's honestly shocking. But anyway, next stop, Mobile Game Exchange. Let's hope this goes a bit better. New cabinets.
Oh my god, it's been. I can't tell you, I was so tired after sorting these cabinets out. Me and Rob was.
You know what? Just having more LEDs makes it lighter down here as well.
I'm buzzing. I'm really chuffed.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Thank you.
Once upon a time I had one, but mine was a bit damaged on the
Yeah,
top.
it's mint, innit?
I ended up cutting it with a knife because it was damaged, and then it annoyed me, and then I sold it. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
a lovely piece.
I know.
Not that I've got the room for it. Okay, and that's the quick game shop tour of Derby done. I got a nice couple of pieces actually. I got something in CEX that I've been wanting for a while. I've got a nice bit of retro in Retro World, picked up something for Kev. So all in all, minus the usual CEX experience, I would consider this a success. So now grab something to eat, do a couple of bits, get back to the 3.0 and take a look at what I've got. What a beautiful morning here in the Ghetto gym. However, it's been a couple of days since you saw me on that short hunt in Derby, and yeah, the the mouse traps that we placed at the front of the property by that hole that we found retrieved nothing. I think I told you guys I put my Ring doorbell there to see any activity, mice, whatever, coming or going. Nothing happened. The food was never taken. So what I did was I decided to move it to this sort of area, the gym area. Right, okay, so the first thing is we've seen evidence that there is actually something here, because in this thing I was showing you guys before, these are the pellets, right? So these are the things that they'll eat and then ultimately die. And I came out this morning to this one here. So they've obviously pulled it out, had a bit of a nibble on it. So there is evidence that there is something here. And now here's where I've been outsmarted by a rodent. I put this here with the same bit of peanut butter and cheese on it. Come down this morning, there's no peanut butter or cheese. There's also no mouse. It's not even gone off. I mean, does it work? Let's try and test it. Let's see if it... Right, so it definitely works. There's no doubt about that. How's it got that then? Right, it's time to get the professionals in anyway. So yeah, we've got an exterminator coming a bit later today. So let's take a look at what I bought anyway from Derby. Right, okay, so we've got a couple of hours before the exterminator gets here. Fingers crossed this gets sorted out. Anyway, we'll get to all of that. But I've got a couple of jobs I want to do in here. But first, let me show you what I picked up from the Derby game hunt trip that we did. So I think we'll start with Retro World. Some nice bits and pieces in there. I always enjoy looking in their collector's cabinet. Yeah, I didn't make any big purchases today. There's a reason why I went on quite a small game hunt this week. I went on a huge game hunt last week. When I came out of James's room tour, we went to we went to Vintage Gamer, and it got out of hand quickly. I bought some fantastic stuff, and that's going to form Wednesday's video. So keep it locked to the channel for that. So I'm very excited. I've not allowed myself to really look through the bag of stuff that I've bought, but man, it's some good stuff. But we'll get into it more on Wednesday. So yeah, I just wanted like a little one today, a bit of a palette cleanser, and also we've got Doncaster Retro Gaming Market coming up next week. So yeah, lots of fantastic things in the pipeline, so it was more of a chilled one. But the first thing that I picked up from Retro World was, on the Sega Saturn, WrestleMania, the arcade game. This one's a 1995 Midway developed wrestling game, and this came out for pretty much every console that was out at the time. And with it being Midway, it kind of led to that Mortal Kombat style of video capture footage then being put into the graphics. I don't think they've stood up too well. I don't think that the WrestleMania arcade games really stood up to the test of time too well. There is a really interesting video though floating around on YouTube of like the wrestlers performing the moves which are then captured for the in-game footage. It's really funny seeing like the Undertaker jumping about, especially in the days of kayfabe when he never sort of like broke character. So yeah, but obviously I don't collect Sega Saturn, guys. This is for Kev. Whenever I go anywhere and I see like 32X, Atari Jaguar, Sega Saturn, I always take pictures, send them to Kev, and then happily help him out with adding to his collection. So yeah, always nice to help him out. And in a roundabout way, that did me a favour because I was able to pick up a Super Nintendo game. Now, obviously, as I keep saying, it's getting harder and harder for me to find Super Nintendo games that I need. However, there is this one game that I see quite regularly. It's not a particularly uncommon game. This is just one of them ones that I see quite a lot, but I don't want to buy it. The reason being is, it's one of them £30, £40 games, probably £40 most of the time, that you really don't want to spend £40 on. It's just one of them games that, yeah. But anyway, it worked out well today because the fantastic people over at Retro World in Derby, what they do is they have a loyalty scheme. So similar to like when you go to a coffee shop, you get a stamp. That's what you get at Retro World in Derby. And with purchasing that for Kev, I was able to get the final stamp that I needed on my loyalty card. They gave me a £10 voucher. You can't use the voucher with the item that you're purchasing to get the voucher, if that makes sense. So I thought, right, okay, I'm well equipped now. So I finally picked up this game. Now I got a bit of money off it, and they did me a good price. And that was a long intro. It's going to be anticlimactic. Chessmaster. Ooh. So this is a 1992 Park Place produced chess game, which also saw a Game Boy release. And I mean, what is there to really say about it? It's chess. I did mention, I think, on last week's vlog, how I'm encouraging RG Jr. to get into chess. We recently had a game, and yeah, it sort of gives me the impetus to delve a little bit more into chess myself, so that when I do give RG Jr. advice, I'm actually giving him the right advice. So who knows, maybe sitting down and playing Chessmaster on the SNES, maybe this will actually get a little bit more play than you would think, right? I might sit down and have a little go on my own and see if it is something that is accessible for me and him, and just, yeah, further help him to learn the rules of chess. So it might have actually come at a good time. But yeah, it's very much one for the set. It's chess. It is what it is, right? So, but yeah, like I say, when you're at this point in full set collecting mode, those ones that you see a lot that you don't want to buy, they just sort of like annoy you. So to have that one done, removed, I don't have to look at it in people's shelves anymore. I think, oh, I've got to buy that one day. It's bought, it's done. We move on. And then we get to the fantastic CEX Derby. I'm not going into all that again. Anyway, I picked up a game which I needed to buy. This has been a glaring omission from my PlayStation 4 collection. It's one of them ones I always knew I was going to buy it right from when it was released. I was waiting for the right price. You know, for me, I think I hear a lot of different collectors talking on the Discord and on YouTube and stuff about their sort of like sweet spot for pricing. For me, it's £12. If there's a game that I want and I want to play one day, but I'm not in a rush, I mean, I've got plenty of games to play, right? £12 is a sweet spot for me. So if someone gets the £12 at CEX, that's usually when I pull the trigger. This game has been stuck at around £18 for quite a while. However, today I had a voucher for, I think I had a £12 voucher. So it made this about £6. And with it having a sleeve cover, it's often battered. This one was in good condition. I thought, now's the time, pull the trigger. And that is Cyberpunk 2077. Crazy to think this was actually released almost 5 years ago now in 2020. The CD Projekt Red developed action role-playing game was famed for its very poor performance at launch. But from what I understand, this game's been patched a lot and it's now very good. By all accounts, this is a great game. So if ever there was a game to sort of wait for and to pay the price you want to pay and probably get the better experience, this is probably the one, right? I would love to know in the comment section what you guys think of this game. Is it one that I should play once I'm finished with Days Gone? There's probably quite a lot of parallels with this and Days Gone. This was probably a lot more hyped, I think, than that game, but a game which didn't get very good reviews at launch, which probably hampered its success going forwards. But I mean, I've already expressed how much I love Days Gone. I did actually hit another trophy, by the way, guys. I hit the 100 stealth kills, which I thought was going to be a difficult one, but that must have carried over because of the new game plus. Because yeah, I just killed a couple of tweakers in stealth mode, and I popped that trophy. So I was delighted to hit that trophy. So yeah, we're another milestone closer. But anyway, back to Cyberpunk. Let me know if this is one that I should jump into very soon. I think the problem with this game is, from what I remember, I think some of the early sort of like trailers of this, maybe like E3 and things like that, I think it sort of wrote a few checks that it couldn't cash. I think it was a bit too optimistic with what it could achieve, and I think some of it had to be scaled back. But yeah, really nice cardboard, as I say. And I've just been looking for one at the right time, in the right condition, and today was that day. Like I say, all this stuff looks to be in great condition. Almost worth the 17 minutes it took me to get served. So yeah, all in all, not a bad little trip. Like I say, it was just what I needed. And I needed to get out because, yeah, I probably conveyed it on that clip from the other night, right? I was sort of, I'd had enough, guys. This mouse in here, it's really hard to explain. Unless you've been in that situation where you're sitting in a room that you love and you've poured your heart and soul into, and you're sitting there and you can hear a mouse chewing through God knows what, inches from your ear roll. And there's nothing you can do about it. But hopefully, with the pest control guy we've got coming today, that'll get sorted. Fingers crossed. I just hope he doesn't have to like cut big holes in my walls, because I've watched videos on YouTube of people like dealing with mice in the wall, and they've cut like holes in the walls. And anyway, we'll see. But before that, I'm hoping I've got enough time to do a job in here that I've been putting off. So let's get that sorted. That's the first job done, the beginning of hiding my wall drilling shame. So obviously that needs to dry, then we'll get it sanded and painted and pretend like it never happened. To be fair, I did need to move my Grand Theft Auto standee along anyway. Now Kratos is here, that needed to sort of like go a little bit more to the left, slightly behind the radiator, just more in line with the end of the sofa. But yeah, the job that we want to get done now is the Lego figure army. As you can see, it's in a state of disarray right now. And I've got these 6 figures to add to it as well. The reason it's been pulled out is I'm going to finally get this sorted out. This is something I should have done weeks and weeks ago. For some reason, IKEA, if anyone knows why, let me know. They give you a hole here, but not the equivalent one at the back. I have no idea why. So as a result, what's been happening is the army's been sat downwards at a slant, and then it's just not ideal. So we're going to remove the PS2 TV and drill the relevant holes so that I can put my Lego army away nice and level. Just want to quickly touch upon this. So we created this empty shelf on last week's vlog. It will be empty once I rehome VHS and DVDs and stuff. I moved this about. I think this was originally down here. I'm just playing around with where I want the army, because I think it sits better here in terms of me being able to access it. It's a bit low here to build on, but we'll get to that when the time comes. But there is loads of pieces en route, so hopefully on next week's vlog we're going to have base plates and a few more pieces to really start going with that landscape. But that's a long way off being built, so I want to get the Lego army itself looking at its best for now. Right, with that done, let's turn our attention to the army itself. Right, okay, there are worse ways to spend 20 minutes than arranging Lego, watching Rugrats. Ah, man. Living the 7-year-old me's dream, let me tell you. So, Yeah, I've got them all in line. They're all neat. They're all looking good. Originally, I just wanted the sort of like the quote-unquote bad guys at the back, but we've got more good guys than bad guys, so there was a bit of overflow of the actual army itself being at the back with some of the enemy. But yeah, more importantly, they're all neat. They're all in line, and now we can get them put back over there. And there we go, everything put back, whole area looking neat and fresh. I'm about to take Mrs. RG out for lunch. We're going to get back, meet with the exterminator. I'll tell you how we get on. Right, okay, so many hours have passed since I last checked in with you guys, but I think everything is pretty much sorted out now. So, the exterminator came, great guy, very knowledgeable. He seems to think that I'll have no further problems. So what he thought was, the issue was here. So this sort of hedge that I had, this was all protruding that way over here. And he said any mice or anything that will be living in and around the field that are getting through here, and he found mice droppings like in and around this box here. He said what will happen is they'll go up the hedge, they'll climb across straight into there, and then they can get inside the walls via the roof tiles. So he said anything where you can get a pencil in, a mouse can get in. So he reckons what's happened is a mouse has probably gone in along that hedge, fell down the side of the wall, and then probably got trapped. That's why I've seen nothing coming and going. It's probably just got itself stuck in that wall cavity. So what he's done is he's put a load of these like sachets in, which he said that like irresistible to mice. He said it would nibble on that, it would die within 3 to 5 days, and any little tiny gaps he can find, he's plugged with wire wool. He said they hate wire wool, so he said yeah, you'll have no further problems. And yeah, he's put a few other bits and bobs in and around the area to kill any mice that are in that area. So yeah, nothing too invasive. We've not cut any walls apart or anything like that. The reason why the hedge already looks like it's been taken back is, luckily for me, the father-in-law had to nip round, and it just couldn't work out any better. He had his like petrol hedge trimmer with him, so we tacked that, so that's all been done. Yeah, so it's kind of, in the space of a few hours, I've gone from being very annoyed about the situation to very optimistic, seemingly done. So hopefully, fingers crossed, within the next 2 or 3 days, I'll hear no more gnawing in my walls, and everything's sorted and everything's fine. And yeah, feels like a weight off my shoulders, let me tell you. But not only that, the postman's been as well. We've got a CEX lottery to see out this vlog, so let's go and do that. Let's get into it, shall we? It's been a while since I've done a CEX lottery. This one came about in a bit of a strange way. So shout out to my friend Tony from Whizbits Random Gaming. He recently went to the London gaming market, and I was watching his video and he was sharing on the Discord some of his pickups, and this was a game that he picked up and the box art was like, wow. And I thought to myself, that looks like a shmup on the box art. But I'd never heard of it, which was unusual. I thought I knew all the shmups on the system. And then, like, just a couple of people said it was uncommon. I looked at CEX, it was just £3, but it was not in stock. And I went on eBay, and you can't get it any less than about £25 posted. So seemingly an uncommon game. Wasn't anything like CEX. I immediately set an alert up. And randomly, within a day, maybe 2 days at the most, I got an alert from CEX that it was in stock. So I bought it straight away. One of them rare times I don't mind paying double the cost of the game for the postage, right? So it's £3 to post, £3 for the game. By all accounts, not a great game. But I think probably one for the collectors, one for the shmup collectors like myself. So yeah, let's just get into it anyway. That game is on the PlayStation 2, Gorilla Strike. This is a 2005 PlayStation 2 shoot 'em up. The war has been initiated by the evil forces. You are an Air Forces officer, the member of an alliance that was formed to stop this war. Your goal is to complete the most important mission planned by the alliance. You have to pilot a super modern helicopter. Even the language. A super modern helicopter. Sounds like Team America. And destroy the enemy's lines on the unreachable for the regular armed forces territories. Yeah, you'll be seeing by the gameplay footage itself, it looks a little generic to say the least. Yeah, this game apparently is dreadful, which is probably why it was so cheap, why not many people bought it, and why it's somewhat become uncommon, and also why I'd never heard of it. Like I say, I thought I was sort of aware of all the shmups from this era. And let's see if it's complete. It is, so that's good news. We've got the full manual, and USK, is that German? So maybe it's one of them that didn't get a full UK release. That would explain why it's uncommon. If you look on the back, it's got German first, then British, then French. So So yeah, if anyone's got any experience with Gorilla Strike, let me know. But yeah, a bit of an oddity, and just one that I wanted to pick up with it being a shmup. I'm definitely going to give this a go, right? See if it's as bad as it looks, as bad as I've heard it is. But yeah, I enjoy all shmups, to be honest. Good, bad and indifferent. So yeah, I think for £3, if you're blessed enough to find this anywhere, definitely pick it up. So yeah, what a week it's been, guys. Definitely a week that's had its ups and downs. But I feel like we're ending it on and up, that's for sure. I feel like, hopefully, because I don't know anything right at the moment, because mice are like nocturnal creatures for the most part. It never comes alive in the day, you never hear it. It's only at night time when I'm in here, quiet, trying to play my game. That's when it really comes to life. So we'll probably find out over the next few days whether that sort of saga's been put to bed, but I'm hoping so, right? Fingers crossed. But yeah, that's going to do it for this week's Ghetto vlog. Hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Make sure you keep it locked to the channel. Massive video coming Wednesday. As I say, I went on a huge game hunt and I outdid myself. I really did. I bought so much fantastic video games, retro, cardboard. Anyway, I'm not going to go into it. We'll figure all that out on Wednesday. But yeah, if you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so. If you want to get involved, support myself and get involved with the Discord and everything, then there will of course be a link to the Ghetto gang below. But yeah, that's going to do it. I think at this point you already know you're going to see me again very shortly. But play your games, keep it retro. In a bit.
Lock into the retro ghetto. Come and have a look around the ghetto. We got Sonic and Staples settle. Lock into the retro ghetto.
Okay, so guys, you already know what game we are playing. We are in Days Gone. So, if we just have a quick look at the map, you will notice all these red sections here. Now, this is an infestation zone. So, this is where they're basically zombies, right? This is where they sort of like hoard together. It's not one of the mega hordes. I've not got that far into the game yet. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4 infestation sites. We basically have to go in, burn the nest, kill every one of them that comes running out. Yeah, it's good fun, and it's a good thing to show you guys and a bit of gameplay at the end of the vlog, in my opinion. So, let's get down there and take a look. So, the first one should be just about here. We'll jump off the bike. Now, as you can see, I've gone with the Ghetto Gang colours on the bike. The only thing I want to do is just make sure my weapons are up to date. So, I've got a baseball bat, but you can upgrade the bat. So you can add like nails to it, for example. This one's like an axe you can make, and this one's called a superior club. So I'm assuming this is the best one. So we're going to add that to it. So now you can see that my axe is now covered in what look like metal gears. So yeah, perfect for zombie skull crushing. Let's go. So they're probably going to be in here somewhere. I need to make sure I've got enough Molotov cocktails as well. Got to burn these guys out. We haven't got loads. Where are we? Can't be on. By the way, if there are any children watching, might be a good time to turn off. This is definitely not a PG game. Okay, with that being said, let me just grab this stuff first. Okay. Let's go. Just need to make sure I've got the right gun. Shotgun them do well, actually. Pop them all off as they come. Oh, that was a mistake. It takes too long to load the shotty. Switch it out for this next one. So yeah, so that's the nest burnt. So that's one done. That was quite an easy one. What I do is I hang around and wait for the nest to burn out, because you can get like there's things inside basically, little collectibles and stuff once the nest's finished burning. So yeah, this stuff here is just like a powder that you can add to your crossbow. It makes the enemies turn on each other, but I've maxed that out anyway, so we don't have to worry about that. Right, on to the next one. That's the gun we need. But I want to use my new bat first. But then again, I need to be getting this trophy, so I need to get a few more of them stealth kills under my belt for the 100 kills trophy that we're after.
Right, where's the next one? I think we're heading in the right direction.
Where is it? God damn, it's gotta be close.
Now let's use this big boy gun. You can actually do like slow time as well. Oof. So when a few come, I'll freeze time a lot and you can. Ooh. But that's the beauty of this game. As you get further into it, you get hundreds, if not thousands, of these guys swarming at you in one go. Here we go.
Another nest. Burn it down.
Sledgehammer. That looks pretty fun. Another bit of that. Oosh. Right, let's head back to the bike. Woo! Oh dear. Right, have we got anything I can blow these guys up with? Pipe bomb will do. Pipe bomb in a petrol station sounds like a good idea. Oh! You want some? Meet my mate Sledgehammer. You want some? You want some, do ya? Who else wants some?
Gotta be close to a nest.
You got no fans? You got no brain? Right, where we going? Another one in here. You want to meet Sledgehammer as well, mate? Nice for your wall. Keep forgetting to do my stealthy kills. They're not as fun, are these stealth kills? That's why I never do it on games, but if we're going to plat, we've got no choice. Right one. Meet my lawnmower machete. Oof. You walk right into it. I think that's all of them, isn't it? One more. Now, one of the reasons that we're doing this, that we clear these out, is because they're usually on quite busy intersections. So this is obviously like a key road look, linking parts of the map. And if you've got loads of tweakers out here, it's going to cause issues. Also, it's a gas station. Now, your bike does need refueling relatively regularly. So, yeah, it's beneficial to clear these out, even if you're not going for the platinum. Oof, just. Right, where's this last one? Right, apparently there's one more around here. You get wolves as well. Where's this last one? Ah, it's got to be in this place, right? Oh yeah, gotta be. Oh, here we go. About time. This is the first one I've come across that isn't on the map. Must be a case of as you progress in the game, you have to sort of like hunt more down. Right, come on then. Who wants Sam? Oh. Why is the nest not on fire? What's going on? Got no more of them. Oh, wrong button. That'll do. Oh, that'll do. Right. Basically, I've run out of things to burn this down with, but I've just found a can of petrol. So this should do the trick. Go. Now we're talking. Done. And that's it. That's the infestation complete. So 8% towards the next trophy. Oh, let's clean up first. Any more? Who else wants Sam? So there you go, guys. That was a tweaker infestation in Days Gone. Let me know in the comments if you've had much experience with this game, what your thoughts are. All I would say is if you played this game really early on its release and you wasn't happy with it, like a lot of people apparently weren't, give it another shot because this game is brilliant. It's just so fun. The concept of like just being out in this world on a bike. Yeah, I don't know, it just works so well, and I'm gutted that there's no plans for a sequel, I really am. But guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. If you have watched this far into the vlog, let me know in the comment section below by saying Ghetto gone. That's Ghetto gone. In a bit.